think the case study is one of Harvard's most remarkable features. It is something that I've heard you can find in bits and pieces at other schools, but nowhere else does it constitute the entire curriculum, and nowhere else do I think everyone really believes in it.
I found a strong link and a keen similarity between the case method and the way the creative process works. Rather than, study textbooks and take tests, it's interactive, it's engaging, it's like you become the characters in the cases and you put yourself in the situation. So much like the creative process, it's more of a holistic approach to learning about a subject.
It walked me through the process of stocks trading, which before I came I had no idea what that was, but reading the case beforehand and then engaging with all of the students and the professor helped walk me through that process, and it pushed me, it stretched me, and it helped me reach areas that I wouldn't have done alone.
As an engineer, I've gotten a lot of technical instruction. Here's the equation, go home, apply it, we'll come back and talk about it tomorrow. But the case method kind of puts you on the spot. Here's the scenario as we know it, here's the details that this person had at the time they had to make the decision. What would you do?
We had a case on stock trading, and I had never done anything with that before, and I was a little nervous reading the case over the first time. But the learning teams were a great thing that we met with. A man in my learning team knew a lot about finance, so that really helped us. And then being in the case, just hearing, I didn't really speak that much during that case, but hearing other people and what they had to say, I learned something from that.
And I realized that a lot of the case method and a lot of the section breakdown that we have is designed to, have you engage really deeply with those classmates so that you can challenge yourself. Those kinds of skills will serve me in management roles, in roles where I need to deal with very different sets of commitments, and I'm really excited about starting.
I was pleasantly surprised actually in the first case we discussed. It was about a trade negotiation. I read through it, and honestly I think I covered everything, but in the end I realized I have covered about a third of all the aspects of the problem.
Someone may have a completely different view than you did and may present an argument or idea that you've never thought of, and to now say, wow, that's something that I should have thought of, that's something that needs to be considered.
And that was when I realized that this was how I learned best. And I had never known that because I'd never experienced it before, but I knew in that moment that the case study method was the best way for me to fully engage in an idea.
It's written like a story with a cliffhanger, which is about as cool as your homework can get. They do read like chapters in a novel, and the very end of it says, what does Greg do now? And very often it's an uncomfortable question and not one you would want to have to answer if you were him.
I think learning from 90 of your peers that are in that classroom is a lot better than learning just from one teacher, and that's what I'm looking most forward to.
It's going to be a challenge. I'm not just jump in and say my opinion kind of person. It's going to take a lot of effort for me to speak up in class and to be the first person that's called on and present the case in front of everyone. That's going to be tough, but that's another reason why I think this is going to be so good for me, because it's going to push me and expand my boundaries and force me to adopt that style, which is going to be valuable in the business world. I'm sure of that.